Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, my beloved West Ham beat London rivals Chelsea this weekend, so I'm smiling from ear to ear and singing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles" very quietly to myself. When I say quietly, I don't mean quietly at all. So before I get too distracted, let's roll that intro and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. Now, there's something going slightly awry here. No, it's okay. It's caught up with me. My apologies. Where are we? Yeah, it's Monday, the 6th of December. And as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, Metro goes shopping in Stevenage. We're in France for an epic demolition time-lapse. We head to the northeast yet again for yet another successful Teesworks blast. And we'd like to get your thoughts on the subject of bullying in the construction and demolition workplace. We'll get to all of that in just a second, but first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days.
Happy birthday!
And it's many happy returns to Formula One driver Keke Rosberg, to cricketer Peter Willey, and to footballer Jerry Francis, to Rick Buckler, the drummer with The Jam, and to Peter Buck, the guitarist with REM. And also to a man who never grew tired of playing with plasticine and who gave us Wallace and Gromit, Nick Park. Many happy returns to them, one and all. A builder has been jailed for 3 years and 3 months following an investigation into the death of a labourer on a site in Hampshire back in 2019. 48-year-old Paramjit Singh was found guilty of gross negligence manslaughter following a 2-week trial at Winchester Crown Court. On Friday, he was sentenced to 3 years and 3 months for the gross negligence manslaughter charge. Singh was also sentenced to 20 months for safety breaches, which he admitted previously. Both sentences will run concurrently. He was charged following a joint investigation with the Health and Safety Executive into the death of 64-year-old Kulwant Singh Atwal from Southampton. Mr. Atwell had been working for Singh, who was previously the owner and manager of SAB Builders. He'd been working as an odd job man on the demolition of a house in Chilworth. The day before the incident, Singh had demolished all but one side of the garage on the grounds. On leaving at the end of the day, no signs or boarding had been put up around the site to indicate it was unsafe. On the 16th of July 2019, Singh returned to the site just before 9 a.m. to demolish the final wall of the garage. No exclusion zones were identified around the wall, and Singh was not aware of where the members of his team were when he started up the digger and moved towards the wall. Unfortunately, Kulwant Singh Atwell was on the other side of the wall when it collapsed onto him. The court also heard The court also heard how Singh's public liability and skills card were expired after SAB Builders went bankrupt in 2015 and the company ceased trading. HSE Inspector James Lucas said, all demolition work, however large or small, has the potential of serious risk if it is not properly planned and controlled. Paramjit Singh failed to prepare a written plan for the demolition of the building or any site-specific risk assessments. In this case, simple control measures and safe working practices such as excluding people on site from danger zones with physical barriers could have saved a life. There are no winners here. The victim, Kulwant Singh Atwell, sadly lost his life because of the absence of basic safety measures. The perpetrator, Paramjit Singh, will spend time in prison and will always carry the heavy burden of having caused another person's death. Apologies very quickly if things are a little bit disjointed today. I'm using a new device to control all of this, and I'm still learning. That's the absolute truth. It's that time of year when all our collective thoughts turn to all things retail. So imagine you're off to the shops. What do you take with you? Your wallet or your purse, obviously. Face masks, well, hopefully. A wife who apparently knows the top, bottom, and shoe sizes of pretty much everyone she's ever met. That's useful as well. But if you're Metro Deconstruction, you apparently take with you a couple of socking great excavators. That's another fine job by Mark Taylor and the gang over at Metro. Congratulations to them.
Axsoft and Svantec are your high-end partners for noise, vibration, dust and air quality systems, sensors and software. To find out more, visit axsoft.co.uk or call 01234 639 550.
If there's one thing I enjoy more than a demolition video, it's a demolition time-lapse video. This time, our global search for the very best demolition footage from around the world takes us off to France. So if you're ready, here we go. French is not my strong point, but I think that probably qualifies as magnifique.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Essex-based demolition contractors, lend me your ears. £4.5 million of your finest English quids have been set aside by Essex County Council for the creation of 26 new flats on a site in Waltham Abbey. Those flats will be built on a site that is currently occupied by the Schönbrück Hostel. So before any new construction can begin, that hostel requires the attention of a suitable demolition contractor. You can find out more about this project lead and many more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk. Another day, another explosive demolition event at Teesworks. A year or two ago, I was actually bemoaning the fact that the UK demolition industry's explosives engineers were all either at or nearing retirement age. And if Safe Dem's William Sinclair is watching, you are the notable exception. So given the sheer volume of explosive demolition work that has been taking place up at the ongoing Teesworks project in the northeast, I can only hope that someone has had the good sense to use this flurry of work to train up the next generation of blasters.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Just one final thing for today, and if I can make the magic work, let's have a look. That should just about do it. Just one final thing for today. I've written a new article on the subject of bullying in all its forms here in the combined demolition and construction industry. Obviously, I'd like you to give it a read, but more than that, I'd like to get your thoughts. This is a subject that I get calls and emails and texts about on a pretty regular basis, which leads me to believe that this really is a widespread problem. Then again, I guess it could be the case that maybe, just maybe, I'm the only person that's actually willing to listen. I'm not entirely sure. So love to get your thoughts on all of that. Let's have a look. I think, yes, that's in the chat now. My apologies. Again, trying to trigger stuff using a second device I'm going through a learning curve. Bear with me, people. I'd love to hear what you think anyway. That pretty much wraps up today's show. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying. If you can't stick around, rather, I'll be back here on the morrow, usual time, usual place, for more of this old stuff and nonsense when hopefully I've worked out what all the buttons do. In the meantime, stay safe. Look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. If you're out in the open over the next few days, wrap up warm, because by the sound of it, we've got some very, very unpleasant weather headed this way. So look after yourselves, people out there. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second, and then I'll catch up with the chat. Thanks for watching.